It was a beautiful fall day. We had decided to go ahead and start decorating for Halloween in the front. This is the area that I usually leave to the last because, first of all, it's just way too hot. And secondly, I don't want our things to get taken, even though we are somewhat off the beaten path. It is always something to be concerned about. However, let's get started and we'll show you guys what we've done. You probably recognize that fun skeleton from Home Depot. We've had him now. This is our third Halloween, and I never have regretted purchasing him. He's just been fantastic. We have a large property, and he just seamlessly blends right in. We have a circular drive, and this is a little garden area. And here's Mac. He's working on the graveyard. It's been a process. It's taken us about 2 weeks to really work it all out. We had a lot of fun doing the graveyard. We've got a combination of different types of tombstones from Spirit and Home Depot. I did a little bit of a funeral mortuary kind of urns in the front there. And of course, all the spooky, foggy smoke. That always looks amazing. All of the fence pantels are antique or vintage, and what I did with all of those were pieces I've used in my garden for a few years now. I just lightly went over them with a coat of flat black paint just to kind of make them all a little more cohesive and show up, believe it or not. They kind of blended in when they were rusty. So we just had a lot of fun. We just wanted to create a spooky atmosphere here. Pumpkins and flowers. The swamp lights I made from a tutorial here on YouTube. I think it's Wicked Makers. I'll look it up and link it. They're fun. I think I'm going to make some more for next year. We just added all of the usual suspects here, and we also have an Atmos effect machine, or it's like a digital projector. Here I did a kind of witch's garden theme again. Those wonderful brooms we got from Sam's Club at the very last minute, the weekend of. It was random. I hadn't planned on buying them. I saw them, and they look fantastic, lit or unlit, and they really help pull together our kind of wonky walkway there. I wanted to create a soft kind of witchy garden look here in the front. We live in a cabin, so I wanted something that had a little bit more of a natural, earthy look to it. I included artificial sunflowers with real pumpkins, faux pumpkins, real plants, silk plants, corn stalks. That's an antique wash basin called a lavado, I believe. My husband bought that for me for my birthday this past year. And I have an old Hoosier-style baker's cabinet outside. It's pretty worse for the wear, but it kind of looks creepy now. It's all blackish, and we put just some floral and some pumpkins and an activated owl on the top. He's hooting away. I incorporated some wine and purple and blue this time. I just wanted it to look bright out here, but add some jewel tone touches because the garden witch that I did for the front here, she is in a beautiful velvet outfit that, there's my finger, sorry. She's in a beautiful velvet outfit that my mother made for me when I was a teenager in high school. The Cauldron of Bones is always fun. We do this every year. The cauldron is actually a real cauldron. It belonged to my husband's family. And there's our witch, and she's got a Victorian outfit on. So I gave her a garden hat and some flowers to hold. I just wanted her to look pretty. I have made this witch over from an animatronic witch that we got at, I believe, at Home Depot about 3 years ago. And she has been everything from a pirate witch to a gypsy fortune teller, and now she's a garden witch. I just, I like the green hag witch, but I feel like it's a little cliche and typical. And so I just like to try to change things up sometimes. And I love witches in general. They're so iconic. And this hat is a faux, it's not faux, it's got faux flowers on it, but it's a wool hat. And I did her makeup, as you can see. Speaking of witches, I want to show you our property. So I'm going to give you a little tour down the pathway. This goes out to the front road, and it is just, our property sits in the middle of 5 acres, and we've got trees everywhere. And it's the thing that really drew me to this property to begin with. I remember when I first saw it, I was just stunned, and I felt like Julie Andrews on top of the mountain. The hills are alive with the sound of music. That's what my heart sang. It was just that kind of effect, you know. So, pardon my terrible singing, but I wanted to have this sort of magical place to live. And guess what, you guys? I found it.
Yes.
It looks like someone's found me. Hello, handsome. Have you met my beautiful, wonderful, magical husband, Mac? Well, this is Mac, and he's just my heart, my soulmate, and my love. And he just makes my life fun, and he really tolerates all my crazy ideas. My other partner in crime is our daughter, and she's a riot and so much fun. And not a typical girly girl. She likes more fun, creepy things. She's very, she's just in love with Halloween as much as I am, and just loves creepy things. And we have a lot of fun together. We have fun dressing up, playing in our costumes. We had the most fun this Halloween, I think, that we've ever had. It was just a great overall experience to have her, now that she's getting older, participate and help with the decorations and doing our little videos. She's having such a blast and wants to be involved. We had a great time. So let's go back, and as the sun is setting on our Halloween evening, let's go take a look and see what we've got going on in our spooky graveyard. All the lights are lit. I love all of it. I think it turned out so nice. We have some new little members to our graveyard, are the little vintage blow mold spooky ghosts. They're so adorable, and they look great, especially when the fog is kind of swirling around them. I added a candelabra, a wrought iron candelabra with real candles, so they're short and they're very, very safe. Right now they're clear from all the branches, and we only have them lit for just a little bit. And then I have the swamp lights that I made, and they look amazing at night. Really simple to make. I think I'm going to make a few more. But isn't that just beautiful? With all the trees around and all the sounds, we already kind of have spookiness going on year round. So let me take you over to show you how the front porch looks at night. It's very pretty. And we'll say goodbye to our graveyard for the time being. So I really love how these brooms light up at night. They're just so cool. They're orange, they're purple. I want to say there was red there, but it might have been my imagination. I have an active one. Let's go for a spooky walk through the graveyard and the property, and take a shot every time I say spooky. I'll try to be quiet.
It's like a Hollywood production. Yes, it is.
Spooky. I was thinking that we're actual filmmakers here. We had so much fun as a family filming these outdoor scenes. I'm usually doing the videos by myself, so enlisting Mac and my daughter into the fold here was hilarious, and we had a great time. So we had lots of bloopers and funny moments. I really love how the graveyard turned out. It's better than I imagined for the budget that we had. Film me and artists holding hands, walking back like that. Okay. It felt like I was in another world, walking down this pathway with everything lit up, having my candle, my beautiful cloak, which, by the way, I got that at Spirit Halloween. It was such good quality, very heavy fabric. Here's our wonderful skeleton. He's all lit up. We did get some lights from Spirit Halloween. Really helped with the effect on him. He's also got those great lit up eyes, which are amazing. You really don't need a soundtrack out here. We literally have all the spooky sounds being piped in naturally.
Nice.
It was just beautiful and magical, and our whole energy was just great. We all were just needing a little bit of fun and enchantment and magic, and it just very much was that. You can see how pretty all the lights are right now. It just looked great. We were just super thrilled with how it all turned out. I mean, how can you go wrong here with these two? Oh my God. I think this was Ars's favorite costume she's ever had. They were just a riot and having such a great time. It really helps when you have family members who are just as kooky as you are.
These guys aren't.
They look great, don't they? So happy that I got those brooms. I kind of impulsively bought them, as I do. And I just thought, you know what? They're going to look great. We have kind of a strange little curve to our walkway at our front. And it really helped emphasize and set off the front. Overall, I think it all turned out really nice, and we did have a nice mixture of old and new and a little techie and a little primitive, just a combination of all the things that I like. It's always nothing I plan. It just all kind of comes together this way when we do decorations for Halloween. It's a very organic experience. As I've said before, it takes years to accumulate your Halloween decor, so don't feel bad if you don't have all the things you want right now, and don't rush out and buy things that you may not really love right now either. Find things that really speak to you or resonate with you, or that you just, if it strikes your fancy at the time, usually you're going to love it. I went a whole different direction in the front than I thought I would do, and I really liked how it turned out. It's very much us. The light is from Spirit Halloween. It's one of their kind of creepy lights, and it flashes. And I just kind of move things around as well. Like sometimes I'll have things inside that I planned on using inside, and I'll take it outside, and vice versa. And nothing ever is permanent or carved in stone, as they say. I just like it to be flexible, and if I need something somewhere, I move it. If I want to use it somewhere else, I move it. It's just kind of makes life a little easier. I love how the witch turned out. She looks amazing and so pretty and still witchy. The pentagram is actually a wooden star, and I just tilted it so it had the shape of the pentagram. And I love it. It's beautiful. I bought that at an antique store. I love this skull light thingy. It's kind of creepy. My husband really likes creepy. My daughter likes creepy. I'm a little bit more into the cute or beautiful side of the dark, but they like the fun animatronics. They would have all kinds of scary animatronics in the front if I let them. So that is the front again, so you can kind of get a little bit better visual. And I hope you all enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun to film. We really needed that little bit of fun. We had such a rough couple of weeks with Quinn passing, and it took me a while to get back into the spirit of things. I actually didn't think that I was going to, but my husband and my daughter, who both loved Quinn just as much, really helped. So we're gonna just keep pushing on. Max taking a few more last minute photos for me and video. I really do love the Atmos effects, digital effects. You can get those from them. It's downloadable. And if you have a projector, you can buy a projector from them or use your own projector. But you can get some really cool effects. And what we have is a grave digger there in the background. That was awesome. Link them so you guys can find them. So here's a little behind the scenes footage for you guys of how I decorated and reimagined my witch. I did take her completely apart. She's basically just a torso on a stick. So what you'll need to do is remove all the clothing and get everything out of your way, kind of see what you're working with. And then I used chicken wire. I use florist chicken wire, which is coated with a kind of plastic. It's plasticized. You can just use regular chicken wire, although it will rust eventually. So the florist chicken wire, you can order from a florist. I don't think they sell plasticized in the home improvement stores, but you could check on that. Maybe Amazon. And what I did is I basically constructed her figure out of chicken wire. It's kind of hard to see here because you basically can't really see the chicken wire. It's see-through almost. But I made a womanly form. And the reason that I did this is so that her clothes would fit properly. In the past, when I didn't do this, I basically would try to give her a waist and I'd have to stuff paper, or it was a hassle, and everything just slid right off, as you can imagine, because the only thing that's being supported or holding it is her shoulders. So for this part of it, I redid her whole body with that, and it really worked well. The overlay, you can see I'm making basically tubes of chicken wire and then attaching them together with bits of coated wire, and it holds it all together pretty nicely. So after I got the chicken wire finished, I started adding her clothing in layers, just like you would dress yourself or a mannequin. This is a vintage apron that I found, and it's very pretty. It's got all my jewel tone colors in it, so I added that to the front of her skirt. As I mentioned before, I was doing a kind of garden witch look, and I wanted her to have a very pretty and cheery and colorful effect. Our cabin is a bit drab and dark out front, so in the past when I've kept it neutral, it just doesn't pop as much as I'd like. So this year I thought I'd try something new, and I like how it turned out. She looked amazing. When you're doing this kind of project, just have fun with it. I brought all kinds of different costumes out from our Ren Fair trunk that we keep things in. We have things from pirate to Viking to whatever you can imagine. And this is just something that I thought would look great. And it's just fun. And if it didn't, I didn't know if my old outfit would fit. And it made me realize how much smaller I was back then. But weren't we all? We were all so thin, and we all thought we were such little chubettes. But my mother did a beautiful job on this outfit, and it's really nice to be able to use it again, and it's just not falling apart, being eaten by moss in the closet. So this animatronic does move. She kind of wiggles or waves side to side, and she speaks. So I wanted to make sure I cut a hole out for batteries and the sensor. And I made sure that everything was attached properly. All the chicken wire was stable, and that the whole thing wouldn't be too heavy. So as you can see, I turned her on, and she's moving quite well there. So I was really pleased because I thought the chicken wire might be too heavy at first, but it actually ended up working great, as my husband soon found out. The first layer of clothing I put on was just an old dress that I had so that I could use it as my first layer. And that's the one I cut a hole in. That cracks me up every time. And now she looks totally kissable. Her mouth moves when she talks too. So she looks a lot more realistic now than she did before. One of the benefits of using the chicken wire is it provided a form for her that was very stable. When I first made this, I thought it might be too heavy, and it turned out that it created more of a wider base than she originally had. And when you're adding extra clothes, they create weight, so it really overall worked very well. I'll provide a more in-depth tutorial at a later date.